Vault of Glass is coming to Destiny 2, and with it comes a brand new title, Fatebreaker. In order to become Fatebreaker, you'll need to complete the 23 triumphs associated with the Vault of Glass raid, and in this video we'll go over what all of those triumphs are. Now, as of the making of this video, the Vault of Glass is not live yet, but we can still see all of the triumphs in the database. So we're going to use this to our advantage and take a look at all the triumphs we'll need to get this title. My goal with this video is to give you guys a heads up on what you'll need to do heading into the raid this weekend, along with give you guys a starting point for all of the guides as I release them. I plan on making individual triumph guides for all of these, so that way at the end of it, you'll have a full and complete title guide, and all of those videos will be linked in the description box below. So if this guide does help you out, let me know in the comment section, and let's get into it. Now, first things first, as with other titles, you're going to need to complete the associated badge for Vault of Glass. Similar to other titles, this means you're going to have to earn all of the weapons and armor, as well as any cosmetics you can get from this raid in order to complete this badge. Now, we can't see the badge currently in game, but we know exactly what will be on it. We know, for example, in Vault of Glass that we will be getting Vex Mythoclast, so this will definitely be something you have to acquire. As I mentioned, this raid isn't live yet, so we're not quite sure if it's going to be a random drop like it was in D1, or if it's going to have a quest tied to it like we saw with Divinity in Garden of Salvation. But you can definitely bet you'll need to get Vex Mythoclast in order to complete this badge. Along with Vex Mythoclast, there's 6 different Vault of Glass weapons that you'll need to get as well. Now, I don't think that for the badge you'll need the Time Lost weapons, which I believe will drop in the Master version of Vault of Glass, which releases later this season, but just know that there is Time Lost versions of all of these weapons, which in theory should be similar to how the Adept weapons are in game. The Time Lost weapons have a different aesthetic to them, but at its root functionality should still be the same, as they all have the same perk pools. So the weapons you'll need to get to complete this badge are the Fatebringer, Praedyth's Revenge, Vision of Confluence, Found Verdict, Corrective Measure, and Hezen Vengeance. These are all 6 of the weapons required to complete this badge for the title. Now, along with the weapons, you'll need to earn the full armor set, which includes the helmet, arms, chest, boots, and class item. Along with all of the weapons and armor from Vault of Glass, you're also going to need to get the exotic ship Vault Strider, which does drop from one of the triumphs, and we'll go over that later when we get to that triumph. Also, for the badge, you'll more than likely need the Vault of Glass emblem, which can be acquired just from completing the raid. The emblem you'll get as a reward from that triumph is Infinite Reflections. The last items on the badge that you will need is shaders, and there's 2 that drop as rewards from triumphs. One of them I don't believe you'll need to complete the badge, as it's a reward for completing Vault of Glass flawlessly, and that shader is the Corrective Protective shader. The shader that you will need on the badge is a triumph reward, and that's going to be the Bitter Pearl shader, and we'll go over which triumph you'll need to get that shader. So to recap, everything you'll need for the badge to complete will be the Exotic Fusion Vex Mythoclast, the 6 weapons, the 5 armor pieces, 1 emblem, 1 exotic ship, and 1 shader. Once you have all of these, you will have the badge completed for Vault of Glass, and that will be one of the triumphs required to get the Fatebreaker title. Alright, now that we have the badge covered, we can go over the other 22 triumphs required to get the Fatebreaker title. Again, keep in mind that a lot of these triumphs will require individual guides, which I will have linked down below as I complete them. The Vault of Glass triumph you can complete by completing any version of the Vault of Glass raid. The rewards for this triumph will be the Infinite Reflections emblem, as mentioned before for the badge. Next, the Temporal Caches triumph requires you to loot all hidden chests in the Vault of Glass raid. There's 4 hidden chests that will be in the Vault of Glass, and I already have an idea where all 4 of these will be, but again, a guide will be linked down below as I post it to help you guys out. The next triumph is Pearl of Glass, which requires you to find all collectibles hidden within the Vault of Glass. There's 12 collectibles in total. Now, as I mentioned before, this is before the raid is out, so I don't know what these collectibles are or what they will look like, but there is 12 of them hidden in the Vault of Glass. Once you complete this triumph, you will get the Bitter Pearl shader, which is required for the badge, which is required for the title. And again, a guide will be posted down below showing you guys where all 12 of these are, so stay tuned. The next triumph is Charged Glass. Complete all encounters in the Vault of Glass raid with a full fire team of subclasses. It lists the encounters, confluxes, oracles, Templar, Gatekeepers, and Atheon. Pretty self-explanatory, everybody run art on each encounter. The next triumph required for the title is Melted Glass, which you can guess, complete every encounter with solar subclasses. We also have a triumph for Void, which is Empty Glass, and interestingly, we don't have one for Stasis, as this will be a free-to-play raid. We do also have a triumph Vault of Class, which is to complete every encounter in the Vault of Glass with a full fire team of the same class, very similar to we've seen in previous raids. Now the next section we get into the individual encounter challenges, and this is where individual guides will be necessary, and again I will have them all linked down below, as my goal is to get guides out on every triumph for this title where required. The Break No Plates triumph can be completed by completing the Waking Ruins encounter while not losing a single plate to the Vex. Now if you guys played Vault of Glass in D1, you know that the entrance to the Vault of Glass is an encounter in itself. There's 3 plates that you'll need to defend. So to complete this triumph, just make sure that you don't let any of the Vex take over the plates and get the Vault of Glass open. The next triumph is called Wait For It, and for this triumph you'll need to complete the Confluxes challenge mode. Now again, an individual guide for this challenge will be posted down below, but I already have some ideas of what it might be. The other triumph for the Confluxes encounter is called Dragon's Den. Complete the Confluxes encounter while defeating Wyverns with only super damage. So spoiler warning, we do have Wyverns in the Vault of Glass. The next triumph is called The Only Oracle for You, and it's to complete the Oracle's challenge mode. This one seems pretty self-explanatory, and I don't think it's going to be difficult to complete. But again, an individual guide will be posted down below. The next triumph is called Take Cover. Don't defeat any hobgoblins during the Oracle's encounter. Now if you guys played D1, you know that the Oracle encounter, there's snipers that spawn really far away, where the only way you have to destroy them is with snipers or long-range weapons. To complete this triumph, all you need to do is complete the Oracle's encounter without killing any of the hobgoblins. The next triumph is called Out of Its Way. Complete the Templar challenge mode. Now this one I'm a bit confused on, but I do have some ideas we can try when we first go into it. But again, a link to this triumph will be listed down below, so stay tuned. The next triumph is called Tempered Teleport. Complete the Templar encounter while never blocking the Templar's teleport. Now if you guys played in D1, you know that throughout this encounter, the Templar will attempt to teleport to different areas of the map. So to get this triumph done, all you have to do is let him teleport every time and not attempt to block him. The main reason people attempt to block him is to keep him stunned in one spot so you can do burst DPS and basically melt him. So we'll see if this encounter is very similar to how it was in Destiny 1. The next triumph is called Too Fast 2 Gorgons. Complete the Gorgons Labyrinth encounter while defeating 2 or more Gorgons within 3 seconds of each other. This triumph seems pretty self-explanatory, but I do know that they increased the Gorgon's health from Destiny 1 by a crazy amount, and so we'll have to see how difficult this challenge might be. I'll have a separate guide going over this triumph in the description down below, so stay tuned. The next triumph we have is Strangers in Time. Complete the Gatekeepers challenge mode. Now again, this one we won't know until we can hop into the raid, but I will have a guide down below to help you guys out, so stay tuned. Next triumph we have is Rabid Relic. Complete the Gatekeepers encounter while only using Relic super damage to defeat Praetorians. Now if you guys remember in D1, you have Praetorians that spawn in this encounter, and once you run into the portals and grab the Relic, when you come out, they're going to try to sacrifice at that conflux in the middle of the arena. So to complete this challenge, you'll need to only defeat Praetorians with super damage from the Relic. This triumph seems easy, but I feel like there's going to need to be some sort of strategy to it, so I'll probably have a separate guide on how you can complete this easily, linked down below, so stay tuned. The next triumph is Ensemble's Refrain. Complete the Ensemble's Refrain challenge in the Atheon encounter. Now we did have the Atheon challenge in D1, but that may or may not be the same challenge in D2. So again, another guide will be posted down below to help you guys out, so stay tuned. The next triumph we have is Eyes on Atheon. Defeat Atheon without destroying any supplicants. Now personally, this triumph seems very annoying to complete. As you guys know, throughout the encounter, you have supplicants, which are the exploding harpies. So to go through the entire encounter without defeating any of these harpies is definitely going to require a strategy and a build, so I will be posting a separate guide for that, so stay tuned. The next triumph we have is Master Glasser, which is to complete the Vault of Glass on the Master difficulty. The reward for this is going to be the exotic ship, the Vault Strider, which I believe will be required for the badge. Now, I could be wrong on this. The ship might not be on the badge, but the reward for this triumph is definitely the Vault Strider exotic ship. The Master difficulty for Vault of Glass will release later this season, and if it follows the same trend, should be at 1340 power level. Now, the final triumph for the Fatebreaker title will be the Maestro Glasser Triumph. Complete all encounter challenges in Vault of Glass on the Master difficulty. Depending on how difficult these challenges are for each encounter, this triumph could be pretty difficult because not only do you have a higher difficulty, which more than likely means there will be champions, but you also have to do that on each of the encounter challenges. If anything changes when the Master difficulty drops for the challenges, I'll be sure to make updated guides, but if not, then the previous mentioned encounter challenges guides will be sufficient, so stay tuned. Now that is a lot of information, so if you made it this far, thank you so much, but that is all 23 of the triumphs required to get the Fatebreaker title. I know myself, I'm a title grinder, so I really enjoy chasing these, and I'm really looking forward to the Vault of Glass coming back with new stuff to chase. All of the weapons look very good, they all have excellent perks, the armor mods, the armor itself, the Master difficulty, and of course Vex Mythoclast is all really enticing, and I'm excited to grind it out this season. Let me know in the comments section down below if this guide helps you out, and again, I will have timestamps along with links to each individual triumph I mentioned before down in the description box. So if you want to be up to date with all of these triumphs and get this title, be sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you can come back to the channel. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.